close.
It is close, but...
Anyways, what's up, everyone? What's happening?
We got this cute dress, this cute girl, cute dog. And we're out here, just chilling.
I think it'd be good.
I feel like my acne is looking bad.
It's looking bad?
Angle.
So, here, can I just try?
Vibing.
Can I just try?
Try what?
To lean it?
What if I just hold it?
Is that gonna bug you though? I feel like
No.
it's gonna get annoying after a while. Hello everyone. We're back.
It's Gucci.
Another Friday.
Alright, do you have some questions that you
Yeah,
have?
so a fan actually DM'd me a list of questions. They said that they watched this and that, you know, sometimes it's hard for us to find questions and, you know, you guys just want to chat, but we want to be able to answer some things that you wanted to know. So I have a list here and we are going to answer all of them. We'll see how we feel about it. So here we go. First question is, you guys started off as friends. Who made the first move and what happened?
Like, in general, the first time around?
Just, I think, like, from the
I feel
beginning.
like, I don't know if they can hear us. Is that the radiator too loud? You got people yelling over here.
Like, it might be
And
because
then
of the way
are we upside down? Is it upside down? It's not, right?
No.
Okay. So we're good.
Okay, so I'll read the question again. It says, you guys started off as friends. Who made the first move and what happened?
So, first time around, as far as like...
I was thinking general from like the very beginning.
I think I was always into you.
I don't know. But,
I think you were like, you thought I was cute, but like,
yeah, I did.
you were younger.
Yeah, I was younger, so I didn't think he'd be interested in me because, you know, when I was like 17, he was 20. Sometimes that can be a weird age gap, and I just think I was kind of still really, like, still coming out of the awkward phase when I was 17, 18. So, in terms of, like, who made the first move, like, he, yeah, obviously, he did. But, like, we were friends, and I don't know. It was always on him. It was never me being like, just not that kind of girl. Maybe I can just close this because you're still talking about how it sounds.
See, I told you. Sounds crap.
I moved it a little bit closer, so hopefully you guys can hear.
No, they can't see me.
Hi. Okay. I think it's funny when people say you look so much like your dad because I look so much like my mom.
You look
Okay.
like both.
I think I have my dad's eyes, like, small. So the second question is, let us know if you guys can hear us okay.
I think it's quieter inside.
Should we move?
Maybe.
Let's do this. I'll open the doors. I'm just cold. Oscar?
Alright, wait. I don't know. Here we go.
Hi, bud.
Yeah.
Cute. What?
What about right here?
Yeah.
Is it weird that I hold it?
I think it's just uncomfortable. It's easier to speak when it's like you're not.
So I gotta like hold it. Sorry guys.
Sorry, we're trying to find the right spot. So I'm gonna do this. Open this door. Just so it feels nice and toasty in here. I'm going to do this.
have my computer that I can put it on that I
Yeah.
had on before.
Let me know if that's better, and then I will just put two.
Did you take my computer somewhere?
No, I just got back.
It's literally, it was holding up. It was sitting here. Oh, right there. Look at. Is it good? Do you look
Can
good in
everyone
that
hear
lighting?
me?
How's
Yeah.
your lighting?
It's good.
You look like shit.
No, you don't.
I look like
Stop.
shit. Here, wait. Okay, wait.
You don't look like shit.
Look at me. I look like a shithead.
No, you don't. Jeez, very self-critical.
I look bad. This lighting's terrible.
Babe, I don't know what you want me to do.
All right, let's keep going.
Just sit and let's chat.
All right, let's chat.
I think this lighting looks nice.
Yeah. All right.
Put your hat on and friggin'.
Go ahead. I'm growing it out.
Okay. So I'm gonna continue with the questions. If you guys can hear us. Let me. No. The sound is way better. Great. Okay. So, second question is, when and where was your first kiss with each other?
Man.
Do you remember?
Do you remember?
Yeah.
So you tell him.
I just wanted to know if you remember. The first time we kissed was, we were in New York and we had gone to dinner together and we were just hanging and we went back to watch a movie
Mm-hmm.
and we kissed.
Fire. Was that good?
Were you a good kiss?
Yeah, was that a good kiss?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I was 17, I think.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Glad it was good for you. 'Cause it was good for me.
you don't even remember.
I remember.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Like you took me out for sushi.
Yeah.
The story behind that actually is that he asked me to go out for sushi with him, and I called my parents to ask them if I could go, and they said no. They were like, absolutely not. You're not going to dinner with Justin by yourself. It's not happening. Because I still lived at home at the time, and my older sister kind of covered for me and was like, oh yeah, she's gonna sleep over at my apartment, and it's all good. And she covered for me, and we went to dinner, and
There
we didn't
she-
get caught. So
That's,
good
yeah,
stuff.
that's the story.
Okay, the next one is, at what point did you guys realize you were in love with one another?
Ooh, in love with one another. I don't even know.
I remember the first time you said you were in love with me, but I don't know if I remember a time where I was like, oh yeah, for sure.
I think just time being around each other, just spending time, just started realizing like more and more qualities I liked about you and more things I just were so endearing.
Yeah, I also think I was really stubborn. Like I would never admit to his face that I was in love with him until it just was obvious that,
Yeah.
you know, I couldn't but I never said to his face like, oh, I'm in love with you, but
Yeah.
you did to me.
Yeah, I think I said I think I'm falling in love with you.
Yeah.
Or I am falling in love with you, one of the two.
Yeah. And that was, yeah. Anyways, the next question is, what is your funniest memory together?
Funniest memory together is, man, we have some pretty funny memories. What do you want to say what you think it is
I don't know
first?
if I can pinpoint. We just have so much, we've had so much fun together.
The funniest thing that's ever happened, do you ever remember a moment where you and I were just dying laughing together? I remember we were on a trip one time and we were on motorized, like a moped or something.
Mm-hmm.
I remember dying laughing, and you were on the back, and we were just cracking up. Something happened on the back of that thing, and we were just dying about something. And I remember it being such a good laugh.
We've had a lot of good laughs together, but I do
Yeah.
remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was funny.
Who apologizes first in an argument?
Well, I think we go back and forth, to be honest. I think, like, depends. Sometimes, you know, I think what you and I try to do is try to, like, see who can apologize first.
Yeah, I mean, we both try, that's for sure. We both try to, but I would say, like, majority of the time, I think he apologizes first. Okay. What was your first impression of each other when you reunited at VU Conference in 2018?
Say that one more time.
What was your first impression of each other when we reunited
First
at VU
impression?
Conference?
I don't know about the first impression. I just remember being like, seeing her, everything was cool. We just like were super cordial. Like, hey, good to see you, good to see you. And then I think I seen you holding Chad Beach's baby.
Mm-hmm.
Just seeing the way you were holding this baby was so nurturing and so loving and caring. And I was like, man, I just.
It made you remember all the things.
Yeah, it just reminded me of how good of a person you are and how much I loved you and missed you. I missed you a lot, actually.
We missed each other, and I think it so much time had gone by, and I think we both were like not sure what it was. We were just both like there and single, and you know, trying to figure it out. And
I think I just missed you a lot. I think you missed me, and we were kind of like, if we're gonna give this a go, let's really try and give it a real go. And
well, what's funny too is at VU, I said to you when we were standing in the kitchen of that place you were staying at, I was like, yeah, listen, like I'm really, really cool for us to be friends. Like I want us to be in each other's lives, and you were like, yeah, I don't want us to be friends.
It's too hard for us to be just friends.
Yeah, you're like, we're not gonna be friends, and I was like, we're not. And you were like, no, I want to like really try. And I was like, okay. And then here we are.
And here we are, a couple years later.
And then we kissed, and I was like, well, that was weird.
Let's go into that. Why do you think it was weird?
It was weird because we had been apart for so long, and I think, you know, I don't know, I think sometimes it's like, I was so cautious about the two of us because I think both of us had been really hurt by each other before, so instead of it being this like big like fireworks, sparks flying moment, I was kind of like, just not, I was super, super like nervous and unsure because I didn't really want to like go right back into it, and yeah, it took me time to like not feel weird about it.
Dang. You want to go to the next question?
Yeah, I have two more.
Cool.
What's the biggest difference in your personality from 5 years ago to now?
Biggest difference between 5 years ago and now would be probably in my personality. I think I'm just more probably predictable, reliable. I show up places on time more. I don't know, that's me. What about you?
I think for myself, I think I've just grown up. I'm more mature. I am definitely more responsible. I don't think I take myself as seriously as I used to. I think for a long time I tried to do like too cool for school, and
yeah,
that's just like not fun. So
yeah,
I think I just I've just grown up.
Cool. Next question.
Okay.
I'm gonna start reading more of people on here who's asking a question.
I'm gonna answer one last one because it's a good question, and then we'll move on.
Yeah.
Do you think starting off as friends helped your relationship in any way?
I think so. I think building a relationship that's not, you know, solely physical, I think helps you in the long run, because then you know that you're not just attracted to their physical, but you're attracted to their emotional, their brain, the way they operate, and kind of tells you, do I enjoy spending a lot of time with this person, which I do.
I think what it was for me, the thing that helped about being friends was that because he wasn't, like we weren't romantic, I don't think that he was trying to like hide anything or like cover anything up as you do sometimes when you're trying to impress like a romantic situation or a romantic partner.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like I went into it when we ever started dating. Like I didn't know
That we
things like
moving in some direction.
no. I think I went into it. There was no surprises. Like I knew who he was. You know, he and I had talked about our like pasts and just because he confided in me first as a friend. So there was no surprises. I didn't think there was
any surprises.
Yeah, I knew everything there was that he shared with me, so it wasn't like I didn't know about certain things or whatever.
Past things with like different women and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's not like I didn't know about other people or so. You know.
It's good.
I think it's good to know somebody like that, and then you make your decision if you see them as being for you or for not or not.
Mm-hmm. And you were able to move past that because you knew that was my past and it wasn't.
Yeah, and I think when you're friends, you see somebody's heart in a different way. They're not, again, trying to like impress you or like, do too much or be over the top. So, yeah, I think that helped a lot. I'm gonna read some questions here. I just have to go closer because I can't see.
You're so pretty.
Thanks, baby.
Yeah.
Somebody said, Carrie Vanderkloet said, are there times where either of you desire to be out of the spotlight and just live your lives with one another without everyone else weighing in? For sure.
I feel like we had that comment last time, but I'll answer it again just by saying I think briefly there's moments of like, man, I wish this wasn't the case for me personally. Do you want to answer this first? Because you were gonna say what you were gonna say.
I was just gonna say I think sometimes that's we wish that, but at the same time, like we both love what we do, and we've been super blessed to have the jobs that we have and the careers that we have and the life that we have. So I don't think there's any sense in feeling regretful or like we wish we didn't have any. We wish we didn't have this life because with it came a lot of different blessings. What I think is important is trying to find the balance of, being able to take breaks and get away and, I think the quarantine was actually really nice. We were able to just be like away from everything and just be the two of us and spend a lot of time together, and everything was just quiet for the first time in a really long time. We just dealt with so much like chaos for the last year that it felt like a really good refresh.
Same. Yeah, I think when you want to when you start like regretting or wishing for a different life, I mean that propels like anxiety and sadness and regret and fear and all these sort of things that I just don't think are beneficial to your life. So I just think accepting where you're at, what God's put in front of you, and just rolling with the punches is kind of the best way to live life, because whether you are a taxi driver, Uber driver, I guess taxis aren't really much of a thing unless you're in New York, but like just whatever you do, I mean like do it with all your might and be grateful that you have that position, because there's a lot of people who don't have any position and are living on the street or whatever that may be.
There's a lot of people who they don't enjoy what they do. They're unhappy with their path in life, and I can say like pretty confidently I love what I do, and I love what I've gotten to do and the experiences I've had and what I'm continuing to build. So that's not always something that happens in life. So and I know you love what you do too. So
but those days that are hard, I mean, you can always it's okay that they're hard, and you can express that, like talk to the person that you love, talk to a therapist, talk to God, and just say, this is troubling me, this is I'm having a really challenging season, and try to communicate your problems, because God cares about those things. He cares about all of your fears, he cares about your anxieties, he cares about your every little thing about you. So never be afraid to talk about those things that you're struggling with, And one thing that helps me a lot is just telling you when I feel, you know, depressed about something or sad about something, and you always seem to cheer me up. So.
Same goes for me. I'm not as good as talking about my feelings, like when I feel it right in the moment. I'm more the type of person where it builds up and then all of a sudden I'm just like have a little meltdown.
Yeah.
And he's trying to help me with that, just being able to come to him and talk and let him know right away how I'm feeling. Yeah, so that's important.
It's important. Yeah, you want to ask someone? You find any good ones?
Someone asked you, babe. Michelle Doyle said, "Do you think behind every man is a great woman?"
Well, I mean, yes, because behind every man, they had a mom, you know, who pushed them out, who was a great woman, you know.
Yeah.
So, yes, but I mean, I do think there are people who are single in this life that are thriving and that are crushing it. So, you know, I don't think you need to be married or need to be with someone in order to be happy.
Agreed. I don't think you should depend on somebody to be happy. I think that you know, it's okay to depend on someone who you're in a relationship with because they should be dependable, but you should still know and be able to, you know, be established on your own even before. Sorry, I got a call.
Come on, Rory.
Even before you're in a relationship, that was important for me. I'm also kind of, I don't love the mentality of like, I don't like to like take credit. I don't think I should, like, I'm here to support him. I don't think that he's where he's at because of me or because of like, I don't think that's like the right mentality. I think that you have to want to move forward yourself. You know, there's so many people that love people and that are like, they're trying to get them to help themselves, but unless that person wants to continue to grow, it just doesn't matter. They have to want to do it themselves. No one can force anybody to do anything.
Facts.
So I'm a little bit like, I think to have like an encouraging woman behind you and a supportive woman behind you is definitely
I'll just tell you that just knowing that I can count on you and having you there to like you just said, encourage me, add value to me, lift me up when I'm down. I mean, there's such a strength in knowing that you're always there for me. So it is.
But you still had to want to do it yourself. I couldn't force you. You can't try to change somebody if they don't want to evolve and grow. I will forever stick by that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
What else? Someone said, Caitlin Tony said, "Hailey, do you support Justin's dream of being a crossing guard?" If he wanted to quit tomorrow and be a crossing guard, I would be all for it.
I think they're saying that because when I was little, I said in my documentary that I wanted to be a crossing guard.
I think I seen that.
Yeah.
And Elisa Jade Jukes said, "Any advice on how you know when you found the right person? It's really hard for me to find someone to commit to me." Also a huge fan of you both.
I can say that, go back. What was the question again, babe?
How do you know when you found the right person for you?
I don't know if I believe in the right and the wrong. I mean, I guess hypothetically, I guess I do kind of, but I think at the end of the day, when you it's a choice making, being with somebody, because you're always gonna find things that annoy you and that frustrate you, and there's always like this idea of like, I don't think there's like this perfect match for anybody. I think it takes work, and if you make that decision to love somebody, for better or for worse, it's a decision at the end of the day. And so that's what's kind of made me, you know, it just changed my perspective, rather than this whole concept of like love at first sight, or this idea of like, I don't know, falling in love, and it just being this, you know, I just think that there's so much more to love than just that feeling. Yeah, because the feelings come and go, because circumstances come and they you know, life is so fickle. There's one moment that's great, another moment that's like, you know, unpredictable, just like what's going on right now with the COVID. And I think, like you said, babe, before, something like there's a really high divorce rate right now.
I agree with what you said. I think that it's a matter of like, you know, it's not all just about feelings. I think definitely like connection is important. There's people that you can meet where you're just like, I just don't feel like I connect with this person, and you should be able to know if you don't connect with somebody.
Yeah.
I think it's also sometimes like trial and error, in a way of like, at a certain point in life you go through phases where you meet people and
that's what dating's for.
That's what dating's for.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you know, you meet so many different people, and somebody might not believe in what you believe in, and they might have completely different views, and down the road that could be really hard because you believe in two different things. Or you know, I think having the same goals is really important.
Facts.
And like knowing in 10 years I see myself ending up here, and like I would really like to be here, and this is a goal for myself. I see myself.
Those things matter big time, because you and I have the same goals, same vision, same belief system, and that allows us to have the same projections, same goals, same, you know.
And it was like that from the beginning. We always knew we wanted the same, very similar things, if not the same things.
Yeah.
So when we came back together, we were, you know, it was a matter of, we knew we wanted the same thing, and we loved each other. And
you're really smart, babe. What was that from?
From the 90 Day Fiance thing.
It's really hard to hear you even with my speaker turned all the way up. I think maybe it's like,
sometimes when you lean it on something, it blocks the speaker. That might be better.
Maybe that's better.
Okay.
Justine, can you do it?
That's a good one. Chloe Gallons said, do you find you get in each other's way being around each other 24/7 in lockdown? Do you value each other's space, or are you together all day?
Who do you want to answer this? You want to answer this?
You can go.
I think when you're first married, you don't want to offend the other person. You don't want to do anything to make that person feel a certain type of way, you know, because there's a lot of insecurities in a new marriage, because you just feel like, does this person really want to spend the rest of their life with me? Like, you feel like, how could this person love me enough to want to spend the rest of their life with me? So you're like walking on eggshells to make sure you don't do anything to like, you know, make that person not want to be with you. And so like that goes with, can you come back? Is that cool? Yeah, thank you. So you're basically trying to,
You don't want to hurt their feelings.
you don't want to hurt their feelings. So I think the longer you are married and you realize that person's not going to go anywhere, and you have that confidence with them, you start just saying how you feel. Hey, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed right now. You've been kind of in my space for some time. I need to go and just be in the other room. And that person knows that you love them, knows that it's not them, it's not their fault, it's just the fact that you were around that person for a long time, and you know, we all need our own individual space. And so just knowing when to say, hey babe, I love you, but I need to just have some me time, and the other person being like, all right, totally, cool, go do your thing.
That's happened to us a couple times during lockdown where we got good at making our own little like schedules. Me go do a workout, him go up into the studio and just take space, time for himself, and go off and talk with friends, and you know. And then find the moments that are really enjoyable for the two of us. Like, you know, this morning we did a social distance hike, and came home.
Which was so fun.
And then we came home and we took our own space and did our own thing for a bit. So
she did her thing, I did my thing. It's like, Justin, we just said that. But
and it's just no stress, and then you don't have to think about, you know, am I on top of this person too much? Is he sick of me? It's like, because then
you're just honest, babe. I can't, don't touch me right now. Like, not right now, but I'm just saying.
I thought you were being serious.
No. Just in general. That just happens sometimes. You're just like, okay, babe, like it's too much. I just need to just give me some space. And you know that person loves you.
Somebody asked me if I've ever taught you Portuguese before, and he's not interested. Let's just leave it at that.
No, that's not true.
You don't.
That's not true. I think it's just a complicated language and it's hard to learn. So, but I know a few words like.
Say one.
Like muito beijo.
No, you're so cute.
Right?
Yeah, muito beijos is
Muito
like
beijos.
many kisses.
Yeah. See?
How do you say hello?
Hello. Oi. Oi. Yeah. Okay. We're from Missouri, Second Chance Ranch, homeless. Hello, Missouri Second Chance Ranch Sanctuary for Homeless Animals. Come see us sometime. Love, Tam and Char. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching the animals.
We got Oski right here. He was sunbathing before. He loves to lay in the sun.
Ooh. Alright, do you like her family and does she like yours? Yes, we love each other's families and our families love each other. My mom loves her, her family loves me, and it's a great feeling.
Yeah,
to feel accepted by the family. Well, I mean, it is important, it's a good feeling, but it's not always the case, you know what I mean? And sometimes, I mean, people do make that work, but it is a blessing that our parents are fond of one another.
It definitely helps. I think that I get the feeling where if that wasn't the case, you know, we'd be able to like be fine and set the right boundaries. I just also think because we both were two really independent people of our families before we got together. You know, we were off on our own for a while. So, I mean, you're always going to need your family no matter what. But I think we started our own family, so we would be okay if one of us didn't get along with the other.
But they do.
But we do.
And it's great.
Shout out to Jeremy and Patty.
Stephen Kenya.
Let's go.
Alright, how do you keep Justina Tanus says, how do you keep your prayer life alive during this time since church is closed? Well, Justina, one thing that I would love people to know that you should know and people should know is that church is where you, I mean, church isn't a place. I mean, it is, it's a physical building, but, you know, prayer, you don't need to be in a church to pray. You can pray at home. You can pray anywhere. You can pray while you're doing literally anything. So
church at home.
This idea that you have to go to church, it actually frustrates me because this is a common misconception with people feeling like they got to go to a place. There's no need to go to a place. Every place is a good place to talk to God.
So true. There's literally, you can talk to God anywhere.
Anywhere, anytime.
I was about to make a joke, be like, even at a concert, and then I realized, like, yeah, actually, anywhere.
Literally anywhere. Carrie Vanderkloit says, does Hailey love hockey as much as you do? Have you ever gotten her on the ice?
I know how to ice skate. I'm not bad. I won't like fall all over the place. Can't ice skate as well as Justine can, but hockey was one of the only sports before we were together or before we were married that I actually did like and did enjoy and paid attention to, but I definitely got way more into it when we got married because it's fun to share a sport that the other person likes and to share that interest, and I'll never know as much as he does, and that's fine, but to be able to kind of like go to games, we used to be able to go to games and, you know, have a beer and hang, it's super fun.
So I made you a Leafs fan, big time Leafs fan.
Yes, you did. You converted me because I was a Rangers fan.
No, she's a Leafs fan.
Because I came from New York and honestly still love the Rangers. No hate, no shade. But I married a Canadian, so automatically I feel like I have to. We went to a Rangers Leafs game and I was like, can I cheer for both sides? And he was like, no, absolutely not.
Alright, it's true. Very true. Was it super fun being on Dave as Little Dicky? Is Little Dicky funny in real life? As he is portrayed in the show? Yes. The thing about him is he's that person in real life. He's just so.
That's why it's so funny.
Ironic. He's so what's it called? Just like what's the word, babe? He's like.
He's just
funny. He's funny, but he's quirky. He's just like. I don't know, he is who he is on that show, pretty much.
Yeah. One of the hardest I swear I've ever laughed was with
him and Benny.
Dave and Benny. They were, it was the first time I ever met them, and they were telling me a story, and I couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard. They're very funny, and Dave is very, very funny.
Our cat is trying to get into our food.
She's a big girl.
What are you doing? You trying to get into our food? No. Don't get in our food. You're beautiful, huh?
She's a big girl.
Beautiful.
It's like a zoo here, you guys. We're trying to figure it out.
So, when a collaboration with David Guetta. I did a collaboration with him called To You, if you didn't hear it. It's a good one.
From back in the Gap.
Your roast a few years was the best. Was it hard to get up there in front of everyone and be a comedian? Well, I think the hard part was, I think sometimes it's hard to accept when you, just your mistakes, and a lot of them just kind of like rip on all the things that you kind of messed up doing, which is like, I think it's good. It's a good way to make yourself more relatable, in a sense, like make people just know that you are, help people to see that it's like, don't take yourself too seriously. Like if I don't have to take myself too seriously, I mean, you don't have to take yourself too seriously, because just feel like, you know, in my position, you got so many people who just take themselves it's like so seriously. I don't know,
I also think you have good comedic timing. It's not, I think it would be harder if somebody wasn't funny behind closed doors. It might be more challenging for them to like land their jokes and stuff, but he's funny behind closed doors and has good.
And they wrote all those jokes for me, so I didn't have to like think about all these funny jokes. They had like a bunch of comedy writers write that stuff, and so it was pretty easy.
You can't write your timing.
How do you maintain friendships while being married? Has it been more challenging? Love you too. Rachel Cron. So yes, it has been because of quarantine, and we've been in Canada this whole time, and our friends are kind of mostly in California. So it's been difficult, to say the least, just staying connected. But we've been doing our best to do like Zoom calls and
well, they were saying it's harder when you're married.
Oh, when you're married,
to like keep your friendships when you're married.
things change, you know. That person, maybe the people that you went to for other stuff before now just become your wife. For me, it is like that, and I've noticed that I'd way rather be with my wife than anybody else.
But I also think too, like, it's important that even when you're married, that you can also have those people that you go to when, you know, sometimes there's going to be certain things that you want to just talk about with your girls or your guys, and it may not be like something the other person's that interested in, and that's totally fine in my opinion. I think that especially when you're as young as we are, it can be hard because not all of my friends are in the same place. But we still love each other to death, and we see each other when we can, and we understand that everyone's growing up and doing their own thing and living life. But, you know, you can't, here's my thing that I would say, you can't take everybody with you, you know, as you're growing and getting older and moving on in life. It's just not reality. So, you know, gotta figure out who those people and who aren't.
Heather Vargo says, my husband and I have been together and best friends for 21 years. I wish you both the same.
Thank you.
Fire. We
That's
will.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I love hearing about, you know, long-term success. My parents have been together for 31 years, so.
31 years, 31
I
years.
have this tape on my back and it's like peeling off and it's so uncomfortable.
She's got tape on her back.
Same.
Tape on her back. What?
She went nicey.
Ooh.
She went
potty on the things.
We get so proud of our animals when they do the right
Oh, oh, yeah. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Sing the next line.
thing. Oh, when the saints go marching in, I'm trying to read.
Oh, how I want to be in the number. Oh, when the saints go marching in. What time is it? Got married at 21 and we still going strong. The key is communicating and honesty no matter what. That is true. That is very true. You gotta stay. Pardon?
I was gonna say, like, I think in the beginning, honesty, like being completely transparent, can, for me, I guess it was hard because you don't want to feel judged by the other person, and you're scared that like they're gonna look at you differently. Like, oh, if they know that this happened, or you know, it can be hard sometimes. But
Yeah.
now it's like full transparency, nobody cares. But
Yeah.
it took a second to get there, especially talking about like your past and stuff, you know.
What's important about being in a relationship is like going back to like people saying like your friendships. You need to have a community and different people and not feel like you're like, can I have that?
Yeah, you want to know?
Yeah.
Sure you did.
Feeling like we're eating sugarfish right now.
Sushi.
But yeah, you need a community to stay plugged in because it helps you to not get weird. People who don't have community get weird. Isolation's good for like a season or something, but don't stay isolated for too long. Hey, get going. No.
We're eating sushi and the cat knows immediately.
Hey, get going.
Here, let me see. Come here. I'll give you your snack. Come here. Hey, don't get it.
Get going. Go.
Come here, honey.
So we're eating. Our favorite food is sushi. My favorite food is sushi. Bang, 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 bang.
Did nobody give you your snack today, honey?
Hi from Puerto Rico. Be safe. We love you. God bless. Thank you.
I'm just gonna give her this. Some of this.
Do it. the way you've grown, Justin, I feel like I've grown with you and have a similar story. I'm so happy you put God with it. I don't know what that means, but thanks. So this person, Kiana Morton, said happiness is the key. If you don't have happiness within yourself, then you are not ready. Not sure what that means, Kiana. Not sure what that means, because I don't think happiness is the key.
Happiness is important, but
it's not the key. Happiness fluctuates, because what, are you going to be happy when somebody gets hit by a car? I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
But also, it's not realistic to always be happy. It's not possible. It doesn't exist.
This idea of just happiness is the key is a big misconception to reality. I mean, like I just said, someone gets hit by a car, someone does it. I mean, you're not going to you be happy in that time, but there is an actual joy that you can. There's a joy, like an eternal joy, knowing that like you're forgiven with your belief system. So like what we believe is we believe in Jesus, and it talks about the joy of the Lord being our strength, which means basically like no matter what's going on in society, in the world, God is, he forgives us for our sins and our error and our wrong, which makes us righteous, which makes us right with him. So no matter what's going on, like he shows us how to be, kind and patient and loving in times where it's like super hard to be that way because of the pain and calamity that's going on in the world.
Oscar. Sorry. I'm coming. I cut myself with a knife.
Did you really?
Yeah.
How bad?
Not bad. A little blood.
Okay.
Nothing too serious.
So,
No.
Clara Wyatt says, if you don't love yourself, it is hard to love others, right?
Agreed.
That is true. It says in the Bible, love your neighbor as yourself. And I think when you love your neighbor as yourself, like treating the next person as you would treat yourself. And if you treat yourself bad, then you're going to treat your neighbor bad. So yes, you have to love yourself, for sure. It also talks about in the Bible when to love yourself, actually to find yourself, you actually lose yourself. So you deny yourself, you deny these like desires of our flesh desires, which is like, all of the law that was in the Old Testament with the Bible, with the first half of the Bible, which is the Old Testament, talks about rules and law, and the second half talks about Jesus and redemption. And so we have to, follow the law. It's like now Jesus came to fulfill the law, which means now we follow him and accept what he did on the cross for us. And in doing that, he shows us how to successfully go through life. And it's pretty sick.
Nadim Akbar said, good relationships don't happen overnight. They take commitment, compromise, forgiveness, and most of all, effort. And I totally agree with that.
Yes. Happiness is based on happenings, but joy is a gift from God that's not based on circumstances. That's good. That's from Stevie Prather. Happiness is based on happenings, but joy is a gift from God, not based on circumstances. That's powerful. Thank you for that, Stevie Prather.
Yeah, that's really good.
This quarantine is so bad for some people, but I've felt a lot of peace in this time, and the peace comes from my belief in God and Jesus. Wow, that's awesome. Kathy Lavender. feeling overproductive feel like it compromises your companionship with others in your life? What have you learned during quarantine? Does being overproductive feel like it compromises? I don't know about overproductive.
I don't know if there's a way to be overproductive in quarantine.
I just don't know. I just think like being productive is good because you keep your mind, you keep yourself occupied, you're operating in your purpose. Like in it, being productive in your purpose is probably key to like A, being successful, B, being fulfilled, and I don't have a C, so there you go. What else do we got? Love your thinking, bro. Love the way you lead, Hailey. You and Hailey lead your lives. Dang. Thank you, Douglas Wade McKenzie. Love your brothers. What you love your brothers. So fresh in here. Marley Quilliam, because from the law of the Lord and
What else? More questions?
Dang, this is a cool little quote. Jasmine Smith says, happiness is a feeling that comes and goes. Joy is a feeling that comes and grows. Ooh.
True.
Fire.
Sounds like a tattoo.
It's a very long tattoo. Where are you getting that?
You're really asking that question?
As far as like the script, how long is that? Joy, is it? That's a whole
You have
paragraph.
a thing on your back that says, your word is a lamp unto my feet and a light on my path. It's almost...
It's not as long. So glad you found God. You've come so far. What time is it, baby?
4:25. 5 minutes left with these 11 people.
Okay, your mom did an amazing job with you. I really admire her. Thank you. You have the same name as her, Patty. Patty Justice says that about my mom. You've grown into an amazing and gracious man. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Miranda.
I agree.
Joy and happiness and struggling due to neurological difficulty. Oh my gosh. Melissa Mullen says, I'm struggling due to neurological disability. I have pain every day. Dang. Sorry, Melissa. We love you. We're grateful you're here with us. Babe, this one's for you. Hello, Mrs. Bieber. God bless. You have helped our Justine. God works in very strange ways. Uses us as instruments to help others and learn from the word. Learns God needs you both. Thank you so much, guys. That was from Sally Martinez.
Sometimes I see us side by side and I think about how we look related.
That's so...
Which is weird, but
weird.
it is what it is.
We're Appreciate you. Down to earth, humble, you buds both are. Thank you for speaking up about mental health and your values. Thank you so much, Sydney Kleinberg. So glad you found love of our wonderful Lord and Savior.
Audrey Dix Adams said, y'all should write a book on getting married young. You guys can be such an inspiration and help lead young couples on
Maybe we'll do it.
the godly path. I think that, anything can happen. We're not against it, but maybe have some more years of marriage under our belt.
I think that's the misconception though, because I think like in this season of growth, we're only going to be in this season once, and our perspective will change. But like, what is our perspective now? Is there anything we can do to help at this point? Like,
True.
could be. So that's a good
Never
thought.
know, yeah.
So we're grateful for that.
I've always thought about writing a book because there's so much I feel like I've never gotten to say in my own words, and without the media or the outside twisting it. And I think that eventually it's something I want to do so that I can really just tell my story.
What was
We
another?
got 2 minutes.
We got 2 minutes.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. Well, we'll end like this then. I think maybe we. There we go. All right, we're gonna say a prayer and then we're gonna take off. We appreciate you guys. Ready? Hand. God, we thank you so much for everybody on this chat. We thank you so much for their just their willingness to sit with us and chat with us and get to know us, God. We're so grateful for each and every one in this chat. We ask that you be with them today. I pray that you would protect them. Everybody that is just going through what they're going through in this time, God. I pray that you be with them. Pray that you would just continue to help us to grow as a couple. I pray that you would continue to just heal all the people who are going through hardship right now in the world. I just pray for your love. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you guys. We love you.